Picture this. It's a Friday night dinner rush. The ticket machine is just spitting out orders nonstop. Pans are clattering everywhere, and the heat is, well, it's intense. In most joints, that's pure, unadulterated chaos. But at Tucker's Shake Shack, it's literally a masterclass in calm, documented precision. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tying on our aprons and stepping right onto the cook line to unpack the exact standard operating procedure, the SOP, behind Tucker's legendary quarter-pound smash burger. We're going to see exactly how strict guidelines turn raw ingredients into a flawless experience, even when the kitchen is totally slammed. Okay, let's dive right into this. To get why this SOP is so incredibly specific, you kind of have to understand the brand's DNA. Tacker's Shake Shack is this iconic, family-driven spot. For years, the founder, Big John Tacker, was just famous for welcoming folks with a joke, a huge smile, and seriously great food. Today, his wife Loretta is carrying on that exact same legacy. They operate on a super simple mission. We pray we serve good food to good people. It's not just about flipping beef, right? It's about honoring a legacy. And that consistency, it absolutely starts on the grill. So you gotta wonder, what is the actual secret to Tucker's consistently perfect signature quarter pounder? Like, how do they make sure the burger you grab on a slow Tuesday afternoon tastes exactly as amazing as the one you order during a crazy Friday night rush? I want you to put yourself in the shoes of an aspiring line cook here, because it's not magic. It is pure, repeatable procedure. We've got 4 essential pillars every certified grill cook has to master: prepping the perfect meatball, mastering grill temperatures, the smash and sear, and finally, the quality check. Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with pillar number 1, prepping the perfect meatball. This is all about precision before the heat. The magic number here, it's 4. Every single one of these signature burgers starts out as a perfectly portioned 4-ounce meatball. Tacker's doesn't do guesswork, no eyeballing it. Because if the portion is off, the cooking time is off, the sear is off, and boom, the customer gets an inconsistent burger. Strict portion control is literally the foundation of the whole operation. Now, what's really interesting here is the actual tool they use. Prep cooks don't just grab a handful of ground beef, they use this specific, gray-handled scoop to portion out exactly 4 ounces. Once scooped, they drop these meatballs into pans in these precise 5x7 rows. It's like a visual grid of perfection. They'll even randomly check the weights on a scale just to be absolutely sure. It's all about building that muscle memory. Once those perfect 5x7 rows are ready, the SOP mandates they get wrapped in plastic and held in the chef base at under 41 degrees. Why? Well, obviously for food safety, right? But culinary-wise, keeping that beef perfectly chilled right up until the exact second it hits the grill is crucial. Cold fat reacts explosively with high heat, and that is exactly what we need to build that crazy, flavorful, crispy crust later on. All right. Prep work is in the bag. Let's ramp up the energy and move to the hotline. Pillar number 2, mastering grill temperatures. We are mapping out the 48-inch griddle. See, Tacker's operates on this 48-inch griddle, and it is definitely not set to one uniform temperature. It's meticulously mapped out into distinct thermal zones. You've got a hot zone blasting at 450 degrees and a cooler zone chilling, well, relatively speaking, at 350 degrees. This temp difference is basically the culinary science of the smash burger. You absolutely need that blistering 450-degree heat to sear the crust. But if you try melting cheese at 450, no way. You'll dry out the meat and burn the burger to a crisp before the cheese even gets gooey. That 350-degree zone is your safe haven to finish it off perfectly. Specifically, during peak periods, the griddle is set up left to right like this. 350 degrees on the far left, 2 450-degree burners right in the middle, and 350 degrees on the far right. That layout isn't random at all. It lets the chef keep a continuous physical rotation going. You smash in the hot metal, then move the patties outward to the cooler edges to finish. It's this incredibly efficient little dance that keeps the speed up without ever overcooking anything. Which brings us right to pillar 3, the smash and sear. Action on the grill, the rush has hit, the screens are flashing. Let's go. Let's see how this builds step by rigorous step. First, using tongs, the chef drops that chilled 4-ounce meatball right onto the blistering 450-degree center of the grill. You immediately get that loud, amazing sizzle. Step 2, boom. Using a spatula, they forcefully smash the meatball into a precise 4.5-inch circle. Step 3, hands off. You just let that patty cook aggressively for 2 to 3 minutes, letting the intense heat forge that signature crust. When the edges of that 4.5-inch circle start turning brown, it's flip time. But actually, wait, you don't just use a spatula. The SOP specifically calls for a grill scraper first to completely release the burger from the steel. That crust is pure flavor, and you absolutely cannot leave it stuck to the grill. Once it's free, you use the spatula to flip it and deliberately slide it out of the hot zone and over to the cooler 350-degree side. Over on the 350-degree side, the pace shifts a bit. The patty finishes cooking for another 2 to 3 minutes. And while it's finishing, the chef drops the cheese directly onto the meat. Because we're in the cooler zone now, the cheese melts beautifully, and the bottom of the burger doesn't turn into a hockey puck. Once it's melted, toppings go on, and the whole glorious thing is transferred to the bun. Now for our final stop, Pillar 4, the quality check, the Big John Patty Standard. So the crucial point here is a golden rule pulled straight out of their manual. Always serve fully cooked burgers. Let me be clear, Tacker's does not serve medium-rare smash burgers. Their signature Big John patties are cooked well done. Period. It's an uncompromising standard for their brand and, of course, for food safety. And right alongside that is another massive operational rule. Do not pre-cook any burger patties. 0. When a huge rush hits, line cooks are always tempted to start dropping patties before the tickets even print. Tacker says absolutely not. Speed has to come from brilliant grill management, staying organized and nailing that rotation from the 450 zone to the 350 zone. Speed can never, ever come from cutting corners and serving stale meat. But think about it. How do you actually enforce that? If you're slinging hundreds of burgers a night, moving at warp speed, how does the chef guarantee a perfectly well-done Big John patty every single time without just guessing? And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer practicality of Tucker's operation. They use a completely physical, tactile inspection process. To check the cook, the chef literally takes a bun, safely flips the hot burger upside down right into their hand, and physically peels back a tiny layer of the beef. They have to visually confirm a fully cooked, well-done center before it ever leaves the kitchen. It's super specific, entirely hands-on, and it guarantees no undercooked meat ever hits a dining room table. When you look at the whole shebang, the 4-ounce gray scoop, the 41-degree chilling, the mapped-out 450 to 350 heat zones, the scraper release, and that physical peelback test, you see exactly how legacy is protected. It all connects right back to that opening mission statement. While we cook hamburgers, we sell great experiences. That intense SOP exists for one reason: to serve good food to good people, and to make every single guest glad they walk through the doors. It really gives you a totally new appreciation for the humble hamburger, doesn't it? Next time you bite into a perfectly seared smash burger, you'll know exactly the orchestrated chaos and strict discipline it took to get it onto your plate. So, after seeing the playbook, the temperature zones, and the quality tests, are you ready to step up to the 48-inch griddle? Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. Keep learning, and we'll catch you on the next one.